EA Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. To take a look at the Warriors, a great start of the season for them, playing very well so far.
This is one of those games when you look at your calendar, it's circled before the schedule's even released. So it's one of the best rivalries we have in our league. And guys, this is the one you do not want to miss.
No doubt about it, because it seems like these two teams always have a reason to be angry at each other, a little chippy at the very least, and that brings out the best basketball in both of them.
Now Golden State's starting five. The Splash Brothers are the guards. Iguodala and Green are set at the forward spots, and it's Bogut in at the pivot spot manning the middle. The Kings were off to a hot start last year, but things certainly fell apart midway. A big factor in that was the messy firing of their coach, Mike Malone.
Yeah, really, that firing came out of nowhere to the fans and the players, and it seemed odd to fire a coach that has been leading his team to good basketball.
Here's Rondo. Andrew Bogut making his last shot. Cousins with a screen for Rondo. And there's DeMarcus Cousins on the assist by Rondo.
And it looks like he might just be on his A game today, Clark.
Outside Curry. Down low. And Green gets it to go.
That's 3 straight shots to fall here to start. Looking good.
Warriors on D, fresh from a win against the Nuggets.
Yeah, ran away with that game, mainly in part because of their offense.
Yeah, the ball movement and player movement, so crisp and sharp, and it led to a lot of high-quality shots for him.
Now here's Collison. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Houston. The drive by Thompson. It's taken away by Collison. Outside Rondo to the left wing. Curry against Collison. And so the ball out of bounds. Collison touched it last.
That is just a careless turnover. You've got to be smarter in those exchanges.
Just about 2 minutes into the game. First quarter of basketball. Iguodala outside. Out of bounds. Sacramento takes possession.
And a moment now to look at the numbers for Darren Collison. He had a strong showing last season. He was around 16 points per last year, 5 assists and 3 rebounds. Last year wasn't his best, but he's looking for a bounce-back campaign this season.
Hey, listen, you know, everybody goes through rough patches in their careers, but this guy is highly motivated to make amends.
Gay right side. And once again off the mark by Sacramento. The Warriors have gone 3 of 4 from the field to start out the game. Iguodala kicks to Green. The offensive rebound. Beyond the arc. And it's Iguodala again missing. The Kings trailing. Rondo passes to Gay. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. They get Stephen Curry. And no question, G.A., Rudy Gay is one of those guys who has always put up great numbers, but in 9 seasons he's been in the league, only 1 playoff. Only 1. Count him, 1. Back in 2012.
Yeah, but what if he were still in Memphis, though, Kevin? I mean, that's one of it. Sometimes it's not always your fault that you're not getting there.
True.
You got to play on a good enough team, and he hasn't up to this point. So, yeah, he's had his moments of inconsistency and will disappear at times. So there's some shared blame there as to why he hasn't been more consistent when it comes to the postseason.
Now here's Rondo. Collison dishes to Cousins. Lock at 6. There's the killer 2-handed slam.
How about the head of steam he's able to generate right there and just gets to the rack really easy.
The Warriors trailing.
And, you know, back to Rudy Gay, he's a tremendous all-around talent. Physically, instinctively, skill-wise, he's got it all. Except that consistent winning touch, that remains to be completed.
And thinking more about Rudy Gay, one key number I look at from last season, his assists. By far the most in his career, and that didn't translate into a ton of wins, but it very well could have been the next step toward getting those wins. And Steph Curry, 6'3" and about 195. I mean, a slender frame. You look back to high school and college, and that was one of the question marks. Did he have the strength to succeed? And that's the norm for him. He's pretty much automatic when he's at the line.
Now here's Rondo. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change.
Boy, he's got a nice looking stroke. That almost went in.
Yeah, and a lot of times he'll still knock those down no matter how good the D is.
Here's Iguodala. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. And speaking of Curry's slight build, he's worked up and bulked himself up. He's added some muscle. He even got up to 200 pounds, I think he said. But he didn't feel real good, Clark, at that weight.
Yeah, it's not about the weight, Kevin. It's about strength. You need it to fight through screens and attack the rim, and he's clearly put on the strength he needs to play at his highest level.
Iguodala kicks to Thompson. Screen by Bogut. The drive by Iguodala. The shot misses. Nice D from Cousins. The Kings trail by 3. Rondo kicks to Cousins.
You know, last season, DeMarcus Cousins had several triple-doubles, but with Cousins, he would have 20-plus rebounds to go along with 20 points and 10 assists. That's amazing for a big man, for any man, as a matter of fact.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And, you know, guys, he had a big game at the free throw line in their last outing.
As a matter of fact, a lot of his points came from the stripe. He was feeling it.
A moment to check in with Doris Burke. Doris?
Kevin, I had a chance to catch up with Steve Kerr. He told me he's wary about how they'll contend with DeMarcus Cousins inside. He said he's a beast in there, no doubt about it. Size, length, strength, and a ton of skill. The talent is really off the charts with him. And guys, he knows it won't be easy to muscle Cousins away from the rim, but he said that's what they've got to find a way to do. It won't be easy.
Thank you, Doris. Here's Iguodala. Following the basket by DeMarcus Cousins. Curry. DeMarcus Cousins comes up with the rebound. For Sacramento, they've gone 50% from the field to this point, 4 of 8. Rondo with it. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Back to Cousins. Stolen by Thompson. And here is Iguodala. Gay with the defensive effort. And for Cousins, those 20-20-10 triple-doubles are an incredibly rare feat. First time, in fact, that we've seen that in the NBA since 2010.
And he was the first big man since the great Wilt Chamberlain to do it in back-to-back games. So Cousins is one of the rare big men who can do it all and has displayed that multiple times last season.
Thompson with it. He's picked up by Rondo. Bogut kicks to Thompson. From outside, off the mark.
Tell you what, they haven't wasted any time getting into the swing of things on the boards.
And even this early, that's a good omen for the rest of the game.
Trains the three-pointer.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
And the Warriors decide to take their first time out here.
You know, when you look at DeMarcus Cousins, he's clearly one of the more talented and also one of the most emotional players in the game. He's also one of the most teed up.
And it's a completely new group on the floor for the Kings. Different look here for the Warriors. Estes Ezeli, he's checked in for Bogut. Barnes comes in for Draymond Green. Brandon Rush, he's checked in for Andre Iguodala. And it's Livingston in for Curry. Yeah, talking about Cousins' top 5 in technical fouls in each of his first 5 seasons. Among other things, that's given away a ton of free points, guys, to the opposition.
Yeah, DeMarcus is working hard to control that temper, and he knows it's important for the team. But it's hard to plug a volcano.
Here's Bellinelli. Last time, 14 points for him. Back to Curry. Just 5 on the clock. Cauley Stein passes to Curry. They get it back. Koufos, and he jams it with authority.
This guy is a beast on the board.
And when he gets those second chance points, GA, he does not waste one of them.
And you know what? It's always going to be a powerhouse finish with him. We know that for sure.
And so here is Golden State. Sacramento making their last shot, and that one's good.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
Now, here's Curry. They set the pick. He kicks it to Bellinelli. Pulls up. It's rebounded by Golden State. This game against Sacramento is the first time they've met this year.
And while they swept the season series against them last year, making it pretty clear how much separation exists between the two teams.
Yeah, Greg, I mean, one is a playoff team. The other, question mark, ... not so much. But things change, and you're only as good as your last win, so we'll see how they handle things tonight.
The Kings need to get off a shot here. On its way from Curry for two. Here's Koufos. Cannot hit. And Golden State will go the other way with it. Feeds it to Barnes for three. Bellinelli pulls it in.
That was a good rebound right there, but they haven't been very strong on the glass so far.
Clark, a little disparity there in the rebound numbers, but some of that comes down to how the ball bounces. Let's see if it evens out.
Now, Koufos. Harrison Barnes missing on the three. Now a timeout called by Golden State.
Well, you know, last season, Steve Kerr came into a good situation, but a touch awkward. The team wasn't 100% on board with the firing of the previous coach, but he won them over in a hurry.
And the Kings making a change here. McLemore is checked in. Greg, Steve Kerr did win over the locker room in a hurry last season. They had finished a successful run under Mark Jackson. Winning accelerates everything. They certainly bought into it.
They really did. And people don't often appreciate how difficult it is to come into a situation where expectations are that high. But he also went out of his way to empower his players and really give them some accountability. Didn't try to hide anyone on defense and played to the strengths of his team on the offensive end.
Now here's Curry. There's the dish to Caspi. Pass to Bellinelli. Fires the three. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
And here's Barnes for three. And it's good. Assisting on the play was Livingston. Barnes has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Now Curry. Pass to Cauley-Stein. And Caspi has it in the corner. Warriors with the rebound.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Top of the key, Ezeli. There's a good screen. Livingston dishes to Barnes. Drops it in from 11 feet. Barnes has got 5 now.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Curry kicks to Cauley-Stein. He dishes it to Caspi. Stolen by Thompson. Here is Livingston. Bellinelli is covering. Barnes passes to Thompson. Unloads from 13. And there are the Warriors now with another bucket.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Warriors lead by 3. And the second quarter will be on the way when we come back. And Steph Curry, a player within the gym range. He told us about his comfort stretching the floor.
I mean, we're 5-6 feet outside that three-point line. If I have a dribble, if I catch and shoot, if I have a good look, I think Coach will allow me to take that shot. And it's tough to guard, especially when you see a couple go in. that basket gets a lot bigger.
I was going to say, Greg, how